try spending some time to pass a Public Information Act in China or with other authoritarian, I can't ever say that word, these other regimes that don't allow for public discourse and want to control everything in your lives. How's that? That's the point of today. We have a precious gift in our freedoms, and I believe that the press protects those freedoms. And those freedoms stay strong when we have strong and independent press. So let me just mention a couple of other bills that we passed. You mentioned HB 30, such an important bill. And I don't know why it took us so long to pass, but this is referred to as the dead suspect loophole, and it's time. Another bill that I want to talk about from this last session was from Representative Landgraf and Senator Zaffarini. HB 3033. It defines business days in the Public Information Act to ensure consistency in how the law is carried out. Some governments had come up with their own rules for what constitutes a business day by declaring that days that don't count if they're not physically in an office or the doors are closed, or work from home days. So I mean, that just adds to the timeline. And what did Bill say? News has got to be fresh, 2 weeks old and it's stale and nobody cares anymore, especially today with these things. And then HB 3440 by Senator Hinojosa and Representative Canales that adds to public posting requirements for government meeting notices and agendas, stating that they must be posted on a government's website. Important things. I want to add a couple of things that are not necessarily FOIA related, but it gives to a transparent government. Senate Bill 26 that I authored. One of the things that I mentioned from COVID, we had a mental health crisis long before COVID, but I will tell you that it's certainly larger than we ever dreamed. We've been putting more and more money into mental health funding, but sometimes it doesn't get to services. And so, like, Senate Bill 26 is going to require more accountability and transparency from our local mental health authorities, and HHSC's OIG is going to conduct performance and financial audits of our local mental health authorities so that we can know where those dollars are going. One of the things that I mentioned to Laura was, I was thinking I was really doing something with Health and Human Services, more money every session, and I go to this one LMHA, and you know what they were doing with their money? They were renovating their office. I was like, this is not what I actually had in mind. HB 49 by Representative Click, I picked it up in the Senate. This is a bill that it took us 2 sessions to pass, but it's hospital inspection transparency, and it revises the health and safety code provisions that inadvertently limited the public's ability to access hospital inspection reports. Before you make a decision of what hospital you go into, do you want to know maybe what some of their inspections had yielded? So certainly I appreciate Representative Click's tireless efforts in this, and we finally got that bill passed. Senate Bill 943, which is the newspaper legal notices, and it requires newspapers that publish a legal notice to publish that notice on the newspaper's public internet website, and require that the notice also be published in the database maintained by the Texas Press Association. Donna, you and I just had a great conversation. I shared that bill with Representative Chairman Hunter, and well, I didn't get all my bills out of the House State Affairs Committee. I got that one out, so I'll have Chairman Hunter pick up all my bills from now on. And then there's a couple of things in the budget that I really strove to do, and that was the State Auditor's Office to audit UTMB medical services for inmates. I've really always been concerned about that. I was a state representative from Walker County for a long time, and so that's going to be a really good report. And then I put something in there from COVID, with the World Health Organization. I would like to know how we're interacting with that. So a state agency or institution of higher education appropriated funds by the General Appropriation Act and is engaged in any activities in collaboration with the World Health Organization shall report those activities to HHSC by the end of the fiscal year. So things like that, it doesn't always have to be a FOIA. If you had done a FOIA, it would take you forever to get to that. And so sometimes it's a bill, sometimes it's something you put in the budget.